the families of 4 Challenger crew members. Morton Thiokol will pay a large part of that settlement. CNN's John Holloman has more.
The families of 4 of the 7 Challenger crew members have agreed to settle their claims against the government and against Morton Thiokol, maker of the faulty solid rocket booster. The Justice Department announced the settlement, which involves the payment over several years of at least $750,000 to each of the 4 families.
They provide for the long-term security of the financial security of the families involved, and we regard it as being something that we're happy to have been a part of.
The 4 families are those of Shuttle Commander Dick Scobie, Teacher in Space Krista McAuliffe, Payload Specialist Greg Jarvis, and Mission Specialist Ellison Onizuka. Morton Thiokol will make a substantial contribution to the payments as part of a separate settlement with Justice. As for the other members of the Challenger crew, no action has yet been taken by the family of Judith Resnick. Mission Specialist Ron McNair's family is suing Morton Thiokol for negligence. Their lawyer says Thiokol played Russian roulette with the lives of the crew and says the secret financial settlement is not enough.
It's good and it is refreshing to find someone finally acknowledging responsibility by the payment of this money. But by the same token, the payment of money, it depends on the amount of money. A half a cup of justice is likewise a half a cup of injustice. So it's not just a matter of what they pay, but it's a matter of how much they pay.
A lawyer for the family of shuttle pilot Mike Smith says the settlements don't alter his position one way or the other. He is asking NASA, the Marshall Space Flight Center, which approved the boosters, and Larry Malloy, the former booster program manager, to pay $15.1 million. The family's claim says Smith was thrown about in the spacecraft and in the few seconds before his death knew he was about to die. The last words on the Challenger's voice recorder were the words of Mike Smith. The words were, "Uh-oh." John Holloman, CNN, Washington.
And testing 22 astronaut applicants on Monday, including 5 women. It's the first expansion of the astronaut corps since the Challenger disaster last January. After that tragedy, at least 10 of NASA's experienced astronauts resigned to take other assignments. The family of Challenger pilot Mike Smith will seek damages in court. John Holloman reports there are indications the top NASA officials knew the shuttle commander did not want to lift off on that cold day.
There's new evidence that Challenger pilot Mike Smith objected to launching the shuttle in the cold weather on January 28th, but his objections to the Tuesday morning launch were ignored.
He said later on to a family friend, there's no way NASA is going to launch this thing before Thursday, precisely because of that weather forecast.
Cook, the former NASA budget analyst, shocked the Presidential Commission with memos he'd written about shuttle O-rings. Memos that showed NASA knew about cold weather problems with the booster seals 6 months before the accident. Cook says his year-long search of NASA records in the Commission's archives convinces him that Smith's concerns were passed up the NASA chain of command to the man in charge of the launch, Jess Moore.
In my opinion, he had to know that the pilot of the vehicle was concerned about the weather, and that had to play some part in his appreciation of the situation.
Moore testified numerous times that he didn't know about the cold weather concern on launch day. He's since resigned from NASA and is working in private industry. The fact that Smith was worried that he hadn't been told about the all-night meetings involving engineers and others who objected to the launch in cold weather, and the fact that he didn't expect to be launched into space with icicles hanging from the shuttle, are all considerations in the wrongful death claim filed against NASA by his widow. The government has reached out-of-court settlements with most of the Challenger families, but CNN has learned that NASA's general counsel is now preparing for a multi-million-dollar lawsuit from the Smith family. John Holloman, CNN, Washington.